So you don't need to get worried.
No, I'm not scared of cameras.
Are you worried?
Yeah.
I think that's good. You're not scared
I'm
of
probably
cameras.
scared that you're sitting in front of my flag right now. But it is fine.
You're crazy.
Why is he sitting in front of my... I think I'm going to mention that in your video towards the end that your setup was wrong. I should have sat in front of my flag. Yeah.
I took the...
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to Square Cut Sit. What's up, Hope? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alpha Adoa. The person here with me has played it all, using her hands and body. She's no shame in her game and professional. She's one of the best at giving the brains to the men in volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only on Square Cut Sit, Memory Dube, aka Coach Mems. You're welcome, Memory.
Thank you for having me.
So how have you been?
I've been good, besides the flus that are everywhere. I've been good.
Okay, now, what's that thing called? What's with Coach Memory? Coach Mems. What's Coach Mems?
I actually don't remember how it started.
Yeah?
Yeah, but as far as I can remember, the time that I started coaching volleyball, somehow one of the boys called me Coach Memza, and the name grew. And I took it up. I just acted as if, I'm used to it. And now everyone calls me Coach Memza. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Right about now, we are with Coach Mems. All right. So, who is Memory? Who is Memory exactly?
Memory is a Zimbabwean woman from Rwanda. Studied sports science and also studied a diploma in education, a PE teacher, currently lives in Uganda, works as an athletics director at Acacia International School. But besides that, I'm Coach Memza in the spheres of volleyball. That's how people know me in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like in Southern Africa, if you say Coach Memza, they'll just be like, oh, we know her.
So that means like when I fly into Harare and then I start asking for Coach Mems, I'll be able to get you.
Maybe you have to look for volleyball people first.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
So did you begin your coaching from the schools, or you just went direct to the clubs?
I began my coaching from the youth games. We have in Zimbabwe what we call the youth games. At college, I was a coach player. But I think the first encounter of real coaching was at the Zimbabwe Youth Games when I was coaching for Bulawayo Province. Yeah.
Okay. So, what schools did you attend?
I attended a school called Mchabezi High School, a primary school called Mchane Primary School, and senior 6 I attended a college called Foundation College.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from college. Like when you have to study education, you studied education, right?
I studied a diploma in education. Where I majored in physical education. Yeah. Then I studied a degree in sports science and coaching. Yes.
So you're one of those guys who are really so into sports, eh?
My other name is Sports if I wasn't Memory.
Okay. Okay, so if you weren't in sports, what do you think you could be doing right now?
I wanted to be a lawyer actually, but honestly, I don't see that anymore. Like, I always wonder if I wasn't in sports, if I wasn't a teacher, what would I be? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe I'll be a lawyer because that's what I wanted to be, but I can't see myself there. I can't imagine myself there. So maybe this is the right thing.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was your calling.
Actually, it is. Yeah.
And you love it so much.
So much.
Actually, you look good.
Thank you. In my work t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm even seeing KAVC Kampala. What does that stand for?
It stands for Kampala Amateur Volleyball Club. Apparently the oldest volleyball club in Uganda.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get that? How did you get that t-shirt? Because I would also love to get one.
You would have to be a coach first. I'm joking. We do sell regalia.
Yeah.
As a team, we do sell team regalia, so we can always hook you up with one as long as you're gonna come and support my team when we're playing.
Okay, so guys out there, we need to come up and support KAVC.
Thank you.
All right. So I really wanted to know, what is your typical day like?
A weekday or a weekend?
Typical day, just
any normal day.
Yeah, just any normal day.
Okay, a normal day, I wake up, 6:30 or 6, just prepare to go to work, and I go to work and get into my business, PE teaching, sports coaching after school, and after work I go to KVC, do a bit of coaching, come back home, eat if I don't forget to eat, and then pray and sleep. If it's a Sunday, there will be church before I go for volleyball. That's why I was asking you to say a weekday or a weekend, because if it's a weekend, I'll probably wake up and go to church if it's a Sunday, and then after church, the same old story, go for volleyball, come back home, eat, pray, and sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Memory, coach memory.
Coach Menza.
I'm used to memory a lot, but by the time we leave here, I'll be calling you Coach Mems, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Coach Mems is right about here with us on Square Cut Seat Words of Hope. So without wasting any time, I would like to know, and I've been hearing you talking about KAVC. What's with KAVC?
So when I got a job in Uganda, the Acacia International School, I have my former coach, like the first club I played volleyball for in Zimbabwe. He's also an FIVB instructor, so he hooked me up with somebody in volleyball. Funny enough, whenever I go to a new country, the first people that I always get to meet are volleyball people. Even if I've gone for a different job, but somehow I always meet like volleyball people.
Yeah.
So he said, "Oh, my sister, since you're going to Uganda, I've spoken with someone called Tony Laconi. He's in volleyball, he's in Uganda." And then when I got here, I started talking to him, and I went to visit the home ground in at Lugogo. But then that's not the time rather where I started coaching KVC. That was just me doing my usual things of, okay, where's the next volleyball court? And then after that, I met someone called Sharon, who's at KCC. So I would go and hang out in terms of volleyball, basically with the KCC A team, until a time when I got a message from someone from KVC. He was like, "Hi, I'm the technical director for KVC. We are kindly asking that you could coach our men's team." I was like, "Wait a minute, where did you hear about me from?" He was like, "Oh, I spoke to Sheila. Sheila is one of the lady coaches here in Uganda who's coaching KCC now, KCCA, and is well known." And he also mentioned I spoke to another coach called Danny. They know you. So I met up with them, and that's how I started coaching KVC. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Aren't you the first lady to be coaching KVC of men?
Actually, I'm not the first lady. Yes, I am not the first lady. I am at the moment in the Serie A men's league. I'm the only female coach. But Sheila, the lady I'm talking about, she coached KVC men. I'm not sure if they say it's 10 years ago or it's 7 years ago, and she won Serie A when she coached. And
as a lady.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, as a lady. Yeah.
That deserves an applause,
Oh yeah. She's actually my inspiration. Yeah.
So she's your inspiration, so you would like to get more cups than her, right?
Not really. When someone is an inspiration, you don't really want to get more, but you want to learn from them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. That is
Thank
good
you.
To hear. Hearing the lady talking about coaching the men's team, how is it like? How is it like? As a lady, you're a lady and you're coaching the men.
It's so much fun. You just get to tell them.
KVC, you are their head coach, right?
Yes.
Yes, and
It's so much fun, but it's so much challenging.
Yeah.
You have to be up to your game, especially at KVC. I tell you, at KVC there are a lot of coaches, by the way, and some of them still play. So you can imagine you're coaching someone who has also done coaching. So it's fun, but it's really challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm imagining seeing Coach Men's the touchline and trying, instructing the men to do this, and I always imagine that the men may, try to overpower you, but I think you're good at your game.
Well, I've been there for a time where I understand what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, when should I be having somebody else talk on the team, when should I be the one talking, because it's when you're a head coach, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're the one always giving out instructions, you're the one always talking. On the touchline, yes, all things should go through me, but maybe when I call a team talk or a timeout, it's not always me. The captain can talk, the assistants can talk, and even some of the fans will be screaming back there. So those are some of the things that, as a head coach, whether a man or a woman, you just have to know when should you be talking and when should other people be talking.
Okay, so where is the home of KVC?
The home of KVC is Lugogo, just between MTN Arena and UOC.
Oh, and
There's
UOC. Oh, there is that
small volleyball court.
It's a concrete field,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But I really wish the arena was our home, like the actual arena.
No, soon.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Yeah.
As long as you're still around, I believe all things will be worked out.
Oh, thank you.
And everyone will be inspired. The ladies out there, plus all those people in the government, I know they will be inspired seeing a lady as in coaching the men's. So why don't we put up that game in there? But when did you choose to go for the men? I thought the women you would have gone for the women.
I probably wanted challenge, or I probably had fantasies. I think the moment I started playing club volleyball, I sort of like made it a choice. I was like, one day I'm going to coach these tall guys.
Okay.
Maybe it was a thing of I'm too short. I just needed, that uplifting. Yeah, but I've really always wanted to coach the men. Yeah.
But I like the way you believe in yourself. It's not all about the height or but it's all about mental. I think.
Yeah, thank
how you coordinate yourself in there. Yeah. So I really wanted to know when did you start playing volleyball and how long have you been involved in the game?
I will not tell you when I started playing volleyball because I don't want people to calculate my age.
Oh, okay. You will tell me off
the camera. I'll tell you.
All right.
But I'll just tell you that I've played volleyball like several decades.
Yeah.
Then those who want to calculate can use that to calculate.
Okay.
Is that fair?
As in several decades.
Yes, not one. So they can decide, is it 2, is it 3, But yeah, that's then probably more that I've played volleyball. But I'm also going towards a decade in terms of coaching. Yeah. Now you know my age.
So when are we celebrating that decade of you coaching,
You're trying to trick me right now.
Okay, so what was that moment when you proved to be that when I get into this court, that moment, what comes into your mind that, okay, now I've got onto the court, it's time for business. What triggers you then?
We're talking about me as a coach.
Yes.
Wow. I think basically when warm-up starts, I psych up even before as a coach, like literally a week before. Like right now I'm thinking of the game that we're going to be playing the next week. I've already started playing it in my mind. If we could do this strategy, we can win. So game preparation starts like before the time that you get to know that you've got a game. But actually on the game itself, for me, it starts when we do our what we call one word with the boys.
Yeah.
I get to look at them. I get to see how is this one looking? How does it look like where they came from? How are they feeling? Then I start to discuss with the rest of the technical team. We're making up our minds, and then after one word, everyone normally shares that one word. The coaches, the players, because we we talk to each other, we ask each other. It's not like as a coach I say this is how I want to play. I like asking them how are we going to play, because they know all their opponents here. So for me that's the biggest moment of a game, because that's where you start to see how are people thinking, and then obviously when we go for warm-up you start to see who's executing what, whose body shows that they were out yesterday all night, or preparing. Yeah.
Of course, people like going out, at least chilling out with friends, going for dinners, others go for hangouts, Yeah, and others go for catch-ups.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever played in a professional, have you ever been a professional player of volleyball?
Well,
or played at a higher level?
Okay. I always prefer to say at a higher level, because we actually don't have professional volleyball actually in Africa. I think maybe the best that we have is semi-pro in North Africa. But to say professional volleyball, we don't have professional volleyball here. We have a place where we literally take our passion to. That's how I put it, or rather amateur. So I played up to national team. I was in Zimbabwean senior national team level. Yes.
So you've traveled with Team Zimbabwe
as a
player.
Yes.
Okay. For how long were you in the national team?
I think I was there for close to 5 years.
5 years, that's
yes,
cool.
Close to 5 years. Although with African countries at times you train and then you never really travel, but you're still in the national team. If you're selected and you're there, you're still in the national team. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what countries have you traveled to as a player? Before, as a coach, I'm not asking about the traveling as a coach.
As a player.
Yes, traveling as a player.
I've been to South Africa, Malawi, Botswana, Namibia, Swaziland.
And those your neighbors.
Zambia.
Okay.
Let me say the only Southern African country that I haven't been to is Angola.
Angola.
Yes.
Maybe there's not a lot of volleyball in there.
There actually is a lot of volleyball, but they don't take part in most of the tournaments, except if the tournaments are in Namibia, which is a country close to them, or here and there, Botswana. They take part. They're so good. Yeah, they're very, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear. So, what do people call you at the volleyball circles and at school?
The coach Memza name has really grown. Yeah, but at work, the students call me Miss Dube. Some of my work colleagues call me Coach Memza.
Yeah.
Some call me Memory. Yeah.
I think for me, I prefer calling you Dubes.
Dubes. Thank you. I've heard some work colleagues in Zimbabwe who used to call me Dubes.
Dubes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have a friend in Zimbabwe, he's a cricketer, and now off playing cricket is into administration of cricket. Yeah. So he's also called Dubes. Yeah. So he's Dube, but we call him Dubes. Yeah, he's a very good gentleman there.
The Dubes are very good people, actually. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. So, everyone was called Dube. What is that tribe in Zimbabwe?
Oh, they're different. There are some Dubes who are Kalanga, I hear.
Yeah.
There are some Dubes who are Ndebele. There are some Dubes from South Africa. There are Dubes from Swaziland. But the ones in Zimbabwe, I know the Kalangas, I know the Ndebeles. I'm not sure if this tribe called Vendas has got Dubes. But I've heard people who are Dubes speaking Venda.
So you were in Ndebele?
I'd like to believe I am in Ndebele, but it's a long story. It's a long story that we can't talk about on camera.
Okay.
Whether between Ndebele, Venda, and Sotho. Amongst those three,
so you are in the middle. You are in the middle.
There's something there. I don't know, but at least I can speak all languages. So one day, if my grandparents tell me where we are, I will be able to relate.
So how do they greet in your language?
In Ndebele we say Salibonane.
Salibonane.
Yes, and then in Venda we say oh my goodness, am I forgetting?
I thought you knew all the languages.
No, okay, let me speak about Sotho. Okay. In Sotho we say Dumelang.
But I had Dumela. I also had that in Botswana. They said Dumela.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Setswana. Sepedi from South Africa,
Yeah.
Sesotho from Lesotho, and Soto from Zimbabwe. They're similar. Yeah.
And how do you respond?
If someone say dumelang, maybe I can say dumelang me if it's a woman.
Yeah.
Like you also reply in that same way. Yes, if it's a man, you say dumelang ra, and then you say negai, saying how are you.
Oh.
Then they can say ekiteng.
Actually, one time when we were in Botswana, I learned that Dumelara, that is a lady, right?
No, that's
that's a man.
Yeah, that's
then
a man.
Dumelama,
Yeah.
that is a man.
A lady.
A lady.
Dumelama, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I've actually remembered Venda.
Yeah.
Venda, you say widan.
With the hand.
And
With the hand.
with the hand, widan.
Yeah, with the hand.
Then you respond by saying, Riwone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure the Zimbabweans will be very, very excited to see this to see this video.
Maybe let me include Shona. That way they're going to be happy because
Okay.
Shona is like the tribe that is
Takes
Zimbabwe.
most of the Southern Africa.
No, not Southern Africa, Zimbabwe.
Oh, in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe
Okay.
only, yeah. So in Shona, you say Makadi.
Makadi.
Yes.
Okay, and you respond?
Tiripo Makadi.
Giripo. Makadi. Giripo.
Yes.
Makadi. Okay. So do you love taking us through your journey, your coaching journey, and how you fell in love coaching volleyball?
I started coaching, like I said, the youth games.
Yeah.
And that year it was like a very tough year because the youth games you go like for a week or so. You'll be staying at a certain city, say maybe here you're staying in Barara, all the provinces go there. And I think that year we really suffered in terms of the food because all the 10 provinces in Zimbabwe, the kids have to eat in one place.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a terrible year. But as the coaches, we found ourselves going into supermarkets with the kids to look for bread, like to literally use your own money to buy food for the kids. So that's where I sort of like woke up. I was like, wait a minute, coaching is not about playing because we did have a manager, but I don't even remember if I saw the manager, but I know me and then I was assisting my other coach called Coach Moyo, Vulindlela Moyo. You know, that's when I knew that coaching is beyond just the field, just being on the court or just being on the cricket over like you guys. And then after that, I played and coached at university, but that was different because at university you just get everything. You know, my other coaching opportunity then came after I did my FIVB level 1. It actually started funny because I called the guy who was the head coach. I was like, hey, I'm coming to ask you if I can help you out. He was like, oh, actually, yeah, I'll talk to the sports director. Then they were like, oh, you can be the assistant coach. I was like, wait a minute. The University of Zimbabwe is actually a very big deal, you know? And then when I asked him why, his name is Engineer Mavima. You know, he's actually the one who also like took me through my journey of coaching. Yeah. Coach Moyo took me through the starting journey and the playing career. And my other brother that I said, Tulani, was like my mentor. So he was like, oh, but coach, you did sports science. I did engineering. And then I'm just a coach, but you did sports science. So I think it would be good to also have you on board in this team. So that's where literally the serious coaching aspect where before you go for a session, you have to think about it, you have to plan it, you have to like literally be like, okay, we're going to be taking stats, this is what we're going to be doing. You have to know that you choose your words, you know, what are you going to say at the one word. Yeah, that's where like my big coaching moment came. And by the way, I was a coach in the other smaller sports. You know, I coach tennis, I coach hockey for primary schools. I can coach even for high schools. Yeah. But they're not really as big as volleyball. These ones I can coach first team hockey team. I can coach your first team netball team. But volleyball is like where I'm high on it and I love it and it's my passion.
Volleyball is your passion?
Volleyball is my passion.
Okay.
So yeah, after I coached the University of Zimbabwe and we came second that same year in the what you call the club championships for Southern Africa. Like here for Eastern Africa, we have the club championships where you have a club from Uganda going like KCCA ladies and sportsmen. They went to Rwanda to play with clubs from Kenya, clubs from Burundi, to get like which is the best club, you know. So we came second. We were beaten by a team from Zimbabwe. The first time we were beaten by a Zimbabwe team. I almost forgot. Yeah. So that meant that we had qualified to go for African club championships now in Egypt, you know, and that was like one of the big strides in terms of volleyball. You're going to coach there. For the first time, you're going to get a tablet that you're supposed to use for substitution. You don't just lift those black cards and say you want to substitute. You should have registered it on the placard. For your timeout, you press that placard. Yeah. And then the next year we went again because the team then kept getting better. And then I got a job in Zambia, and then the University of Zambia wanted me to coach them. But then this guy that I had also met from one of the teams in Zambia was like, no, she's not coming to your team. She's coming to our team called Chalube. So when I looked at Chalube, my life and my calling, like we spoke earlier on, that coaching is a calling. It had the same values like what Chalube was doing. Chalube had these boys staying in the camp. They take them to school. You know, they look at their background, take them to school. They give them jobs. And after that, they coach them volleyball. Chalube was actually an engineering company. Some of them would get jobs there, and then they finish work and they come for training. So that's how I also ended up with a team called Chalube that time. I found them doing very well. And then I was coaching with a man called John Mapulanga, was a policeman. And we used to laugh back when I was in Zim because he would coach alone. Like alone.
Okay.
With no assistant coach. You know? So that's when I got there and I was assisting. It was one of those memories that I cherish as well. The team got better, but the boys also got better in terms of their lives. You know, in terms of when you talk conversations with them, you feel, okay, this one's life has changed. Yeah. And then after Zambia, that's when I came here and I'm still coaching. And then last year I had the privilege of being also appointed as the assistant coach for the Uganda Cranes.
Wow. Congratulations. That is where do you find a lady being appointed among the officials, those top jobs of the national team? Do you know what it means heading the national team?
Well, I'm not heading, I'm assisting.
That is like, actually, you are like a head. So if the coach leaves, you're the head, right?
I don't know.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing.
But anyway, like I said earlier on, that I always look up to Sheila. Sheila coached the national team as the head coach. How cool is that? But she was not only coaching because it's cool, she was actually doing it, man. Yeah, Uganda came 5th in Africa the year she was coaching in volleyball.
So we should involve more ladies in coaching
the
men.
Exactly.
And then the men should coach the female teams.
There's lots of men actually coach female teams and they do well. I think you were also coaching females.
Yeah, of course I was coaching females.
Yeah. See, I know about cricket.
Okay, now you've talked about cricket. So, and have you ever played the game of cricket?
I've tried being a scorer.
Okay, that is very good. That is very good. So that means you know the game in here.
Yes, I mean, I'm a teacher. I'm a PE teacher. So if you're a PE teacher, you have to be in sort of like, for me to be competitive in terms of, to have competence actually in terms of being one of the best PE teachers in Africa, I have to be an all-rounder. So basically, if you were to leave me with your cricket kids, we wouldn't be stranded. That I can promise you. Yes, with proper technique in some of the things.
So do you see how it's good to coach the kids in cricket? Coach them cricket. Is it interesting?
Not more than volleyball. Not more than volleyball.
But volleyball, they will just be, you know, hitting the ball like this. Yet cricket, they will be involved. Everyone will be involved in it.
Volleyball is so much fun. You don't know if someone is going to save an ace, if someone is going to block, if someone is going to...
knowing an ace? No.
Well, there is where they start. If you're talking about little kids, it's how you as a coach have that charisma to let them have the fun that they deserve. And they actually do know about the ace. They actually, you hear them, they're the ones who actually celebrate the aces more. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's turn away from cricket, which is so good, you know. She was telling me about the cricketers of Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza.
Yeah.
But how did you get to know about Sikandar Raza?
Like everybody knows him. I mean, sports. I mean,
Uh-huh.
like honestly, I would be the worst person to be here on camera saying I'm a sports scientist and I don't know Sikandar.
Uh-huh.
See what I mean? Like, yeah.
Apart from Sikandar, is there any other cricketer?
Oh, there are quite a lot. There are quite a lot. Some that you don't even know. Remember, I told you that there used to be cricket in our era of Henry Olongas, the Andy Flowers. Then you spoke about Tatenda Taibu, and we spoke about. Okay, I'll not say that on camera. I'll just use my height. And then
Okay.
we had one from my town who did well. I think he was a good bowler, Christopher Mbofu. And then the Sikandar Rasas are actually the small boys. Yeah, there has been the great. They are going to greatness, but there has been the great before them. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So now that you're in Uganda, are there any Ugandan cricketers you know?
Not yet, but I've met Ugandan cricketers and I've met coaches. Yes.
Okay. So have you ever had any bad experiences as a player? Playing volleyball.
I think the experiences that are bad that I've experienced as a player of volleyball are honestly not really on-court things. There are things that are said, things that no one could control. To say you have trained as a team, you have camped, you're feeling yourself, you're like, oh my goodness, this time around was so fit. And then you never get to travel, but that's not a problem that is generalized to me. It's a generalized to any African country. There's quite a lot of countries who experience that. And then last minute, the funds couldn't come through. I think for me, those are the bad experiences that I really wish could turn around, especially in our African countries. Yeah.
Okay. Then what about in coaching?
Yeah, in coaching, I had a bad experience because of my height, where they thought I was a player and they're like, get out. And then I had to turn my accreditation so that they see that it says coach. It was a fun one. I joke about it. Yeah.
That wasn't good to me.
It wasn't, but I mean, like, I've heard people who in church have been lifted from a seat because they think they are a child. So yeah.
But I've liked you. You're a strong woman.
Oh, now I am. After that, I make it known that when I get into a room, you will see that, okay, this one is not a player. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of your checklists, or like what's off your checklist as a coach?
All right, so when you say checklist, I want you to narrow it down to say basic. Is it basic to training?
Let me phrase it like
okay.
this. What's off your checklist as you are coaching volleyball?
Or as I'm coaching?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, like in a game, first of all, I always want to make sure that when we've spoken about the strategy, part of my checklist as a coach who's standing on the line is making sure, are we still executing what we agreed?
No, this is what I'm trying to mean. Something that is off, as in off your checklist, as in when this is happening, I don't want this to happen. I don't want to see this. Like you're coaching volleyball, but there's something that is being done that you don't want, and it is one of your off checklists.
Or you said off checklist.
Yes,
you said what is on your checklist?
No, off checklist.
Lack of teamwork, lack of support for one another.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it annoys me. It's one of the things that can make me leave the sideline and go and sit. If I see that another player maybe is having a bad moment and they're not getting support from their team, or they themselves are lacking that teamwork to say, maybe when you're trying to correct them, because it's in two ways. Teamwork can be also how you play with your teammates or how your teammates support me. So for me, it's one of those big things. Everyone needs support all the time. Yeah.
Okay. Have you experienced some challenges as you're coaching in your coaching career?
I've experienced a lot of challenges. Yeah.
There are those that you can remember, Rob, and say, "Oh, this?
Yeah, they're there, but I remember them, but I let go of them because I believe it's part of coaching.
Yeah.
You know, you can disagree with the referees, you can disagree even with the players in your team. You know, you can have an opponent coach who's maybe too aggressive, you know. I haven't heard maybe those big ones, but I've heard the ones where you go home laughing like, oh, this happened. You know, I just always try and make sure it's not me in that circumstance, or it's not me maybe upsetting somebody else in that manner. But yeah, I have experienced those coaching moments. I've experienced coaching moments where a player can just say, oh, we're being coached by a female. I don't think I'll be able to train or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, on Square Cat Show, she has no shame in her game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still with Coach Mems. Coach Mems, feel free to take some water,
Thank you. Yeah.
So, and during my, I've watched a volleyball game, and I know a few people in volleyball also. Yeah, have you heard of a lady called Cisse?
Yes.
Yeah, Cisse, she's a down-to-earth lady. I've known her for her volleyball for her almost my entire time of knowing sports.
She's actually a KVC.
Ah.
Yeah.
So one time when you go back there, just send greetings to her.
Okay,
and just say, greetings from Alpha.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, greetings from me. So then I would like to, how do you compare the volleyball in Uganda with that of Zimbabwe?
I love that question. People always ask.
Yeah.
And I'm like, volleyball in Uganda is bigger than volleyball in Zimbabwe in terms of the quality, in terms of the stature of the players, in terms of the talent. But volleyball in Zimbabwe is probably at the moment more organized. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, quality.
What do you mean by
talent,
more organized?
I mean the structures, I mean the federations, I mean the clubs. You get it if you open. You know how we always say media at the moment is one way of showing us what is happening. So if you were to open the 2 pages right now, you would be able to follow, okay, what is happening in Zimbabwe right now. You'd see, okay, they're in the transfer window. Okay, they're having a course next week. Okay, they are Bulawayo province is doing this, their Harare province is doing this. You will be able to follow who won. In Uganda, you will get bits and pieces. I'm just talking about the face, because we nowadays, to be honest, social media is big.
Yeah.
You know, and once you see a social media page that is big, believe me, even when you go to that space, be sure that the crowds will be big. You know, so I feel like in Uganda right now we're a bit silent, yet we've got a very good product.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So the Ugandans are there, you're like, oh my goodness, the coaches are scratching. Where can I get a tall setter? Where can I get a tall middle blocker in terms of the positions? But in Uganda we have all that. You know, but we're just there saying, oh, just come, just play. But in Uganda, in Zimbabwe, they're investing a lot. It's like they're starting to understand sport and getting to a different level. In Uganda, some teams have that, some teams don't have that. So in terms of how I see, that's the difference between the Ugandan volleyball and the Zimbabwean. One country has very, very good players, very good potential, everything when it comes to play. In fact, in Africa, the other country is like, okay, Southern Africans generally, through research, were shorter than Eastern African countries. But we've got people who are now hardworking at it, people who are thinking about it, people who are planning for it. You know, that's the difference.
Okay.
But when we invite Zimbabwe, we will beat them.
Yes, sure.
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, my peeps.
Okay, so if you would change one thing about volleyball in Uganda, what would that be?
I would make it semi-pro. Semi-pro is basically where you're looking at what are the chances, what are the things that can make our volleyball to be more marketable. I would try and get investments, try and get corporates to be included in volleyball in Uganda. Because right now we are suffering from having players who are like, oh, I can't come to work today to play today, coach, because I'm working. But if we had even that little that we give them, or if we had companies, I know some people have companies that hire players. So if a company hires someone and they know they're a player, they're able to release them in time for training. So that's what I mean. I would get corporates, I'll get investments. I believe it's something doable. Yeah.
Do you think someone can earn a living here in Uganda from volleyball?
Not at the moment. Without a side hustle,
Yeah.
I would set you. I would set you and be like, you're stealing from somewhere. Not at the moment. Yet, if we could put our heads together, look for corporates, look for investment, there could be people interested in putting in resources into volleyball until people earn from it. I mean, besides the teams like KCCA, but still I feel like they have side hustles, those players. Maybe you'd know better, but I feel like they have side hustles. They can't really be waiting to say, oh, KCCA will play me.
Do you think the government is supporting the role volleyball?
Do you want to get me out of Uganda right now?
Oh, okay.
Dude, I'm on a planet. And Acacia won't be happy.
Yeah.
I don't always want to say the government is the only place that needs to do something about sport. Yes, they have a bigger part to do in sport. But us people in sport, what are we doing?
Yeah.
KVC has nothing to do with the government. What are we doing? If we do something, don't you think the government will see that and do something?
Because I think the volleyball in Uganda needs to be upscaled.
Yes,
Highly improved.
Yes, it's true. It can be highly improved. But I believe some of these things, they start with the foundations. For example, KVC we had a camp that ran for like several weeks when the kids were on vacation, right? But you know how we've upskilled ourselves. Now I know as a coach coaching the club, I will have one day a lot of input, a lot of players, because we are mentoring them going up. So I believe this should also start even when it comes on such terms, for us to be able to get to pay players, to get to have professionals. Are we all being professional? I mean, am I being professional at my club? So that the government can also ship in and help us. So I think everyone has to be involved.
Yeah.
The parts are not really clicking right now. It's like on and off. But if everyone gets involved, I believe the government will somehow recognize that volleyball, you know what, it's a good product as well. Yeah.
All right now it's time for name drops. You get it? I state the names, you just select one.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
You don't need to get scared or what. It's just something simple.
Okay.
You're even taking water for that.
Yeah, I need to relax more.
Okay. What did you say your coach, the female coach was?
Sheila.
Okay. Taib Sikandar Raza.
Taibu. I'm sorry, Sikandar, Taibu. I mean, now you know my age, yeah?
Sise Sheila.
Come on, they're both at the space where I am right now. But anyway, I would just say Sheila because she's my twin sister and she's also a coach.
Yeah.
Sise is at my club, and I mean.
Okay. Shorts, skirts.
Shorts.
Trousers, dresses.
Shout out to my short, nice dresses. Oh. Though you hardly ever see me in that look, but I love them. Short dresses, yeah.
International school, government school.
I will take the government school kids who are talented in all sports and offer them scholarship because I want to stay at international schools. Man, think outside the box. Think outside the box.
I just mentioned, I said the name, then you told.
You heard me.
Okay, okay. Water? Soda?
I don't take soda at all. Water.
Cool. Zimbabwe, Uganda?
Man, I'm working here. You want to get me fired? Like, this is not fair at all. I'm not answering this one. One, you want to get me fired. Two, you want to get me chucked away from my country. I'm not answering this one. But anyway, I love both because they are the same. I don't know who's the elder brother or who's the younger, but they are Zimbabwe. Talk to me off camera. I'll tell you why. Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Volleyball, cricket?
Volleyball, come on, easy.
All right, we are still with memory, Coach Mems on Square Cat Seat. What's up, Hope?
Yeah.
She got all it takes
Thank
to put the
you.
brains into the men's volleyball in Uganda. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. But I found them already performing well, by the way. I'm just
Oh.
adding to the good that is already in this country, by the way. To be honest, yeah, they were already doing very, very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, when we go about what do you usually do during your free time?
I read a book. I just sit and laugh and chat with friends. I think I'm humorous, by the way. So I talk and laugh. But also lately, there's this one hobby that almost everyone in the world has: social media. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you. Single or searching?
Really? Wow.
No, we're working for the people. We're working for the people out there.
I am. Wow. Am I going to say this on camera? Single, searching, very unhappy because I'm single. Are you advertising me or we're doing a sports show right now?
No, apart from sports, someone needs that, When you're done with sports, you can go and share those moments with your colleague. Okay, let me take that as like a colleague.
Okay.
That, this is how it was in sports. Can't imagine there's a player who annoyed me and I felt like,
Yeah. No, that's true actually. That's true. I get home and I feel like
you have no one to talk to.
I have no one to tell that we were 2 points away and the opponent was 6 points and we lost that game. Yeah. But it's just how God has planned it. And probably it's not for long.
No, I believe. I know someone out there is now. Hey guys, gentlemen out there, please. I think you've had it yourself. So do the needful. Just get into my inbox and then you'll get the rest. Don't worry.
Wow.
Okay, so I really wanted to know. I want you to tell us about a location where you felt like you were in good life.
Wow.
A location.
Wow. Like a place or a certain time in my life?
Like when you hear of like a location, it's just like a place,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
Yeah. Hey man, I've always felt like I'm in good life, But I honestly do cherish the moments that I had with the Zambians. Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, they are three countries that are not different. I mean, I know there are other several countries, but because I've lived in these countries, they're not really that different. The people are amazing. It's so good to be there. But I think I had a bit of special moments. Though God called me to come to Uganda, and I'm starting to have good moments, by the way, and I'm feeling it. I start to get attached with the place. But yeah, Zimbabwe is always my country. It always stays in my heart. But I had a good time in Zambia. but Uganda is slowly trying to
Take
take
care of it.
over. I know,
Yeah.
I know, and it's like that ex that you're like, oh, I don't want to forget you, but then now you're at a new place. You need to make space for where I am right now. So I'm really feeling like I'm fitting in with Uganda. I'm really feeling like when I go home, I can even tell my parents after 2 weeks that I want to go back to my place. Yeah, I did that the other year. I was like, I'm going back, and I changed my ticket. I came back earlier. So I think I'm starting to have those moments of just fitting in and fitting in. Yeah.
Okay. What makes you fit? What makes you love Uganda? Like what
Food.
is the... Oh, okay.
And the people are amazing. Yeah. It's basically it's as if I'm in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
The only thing is you guys are taking long to teach me, especially Luganda, so that I can converse with people, because I can just speak on Jebaleko, Riburunji. Then after that I'm stuck there like, what do you mean you can't speak Luganda? But if it wasn't for that, honestly, I'll be good to go in Uganda.
But I think when it comes to the language, maybe most of the time you try to speak to them in English. You can try to speak to them in the language, the little words you know. Or you ask them, what does this mean?
It's actually
If I want to communicate to someone.
It's actually the opposite. I think in my country I do that as well. Where the minute someone knows that I'm not Ugandan, then they speak to me in what? In English. In Zambia, how I quickly learned the local language is because I had a helper and the other support staff workers who would specifically speak to me in their language. Whether we understand each other or we don't. But here, even the people who know, the people that I tell that I'm learning Luganda, they would never speak to me. Like, come to think, my boys, I don't know why they're not teaching me Luganda. It's a few who come to me and speak to Luganda, but the rest, they want to speak English with me. I'm like, I give up on these people. Yeah.
So I think now the men of KBC,
Yes.
you've had it all. Whenever you are speaking or trying to bring out a point, try to bring it out in the local language,
Yeah.
Luganda, because she's really ready to learn the language.
Yeah. I do actually ask them at times to say, maybe, how do you say this? And they'll be knowing that I'm asking because of coaching. I remember the other week I asked them, how do you say, vavayo? Because that's a term that I always hear them using. So I wanted to use it.
They were saying, vayo, vayo, vayo.
Vavayo.
Bavayo.
Vavayo, like
Bavayo,
the opponent.
bavayo,
Talking about
eh.
the opponent.
Eh.
Yes.
Bavayo, bavayo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a term that is often used. I think it would be so cool if foreigner coaching in a local language. It would be so cool. Yeah.
Oh. So speaking on about the foods of Uganda. So what are some of those foods or delicacies of Uganda you've really enjoyed?
My favorite are the fruits because they are all year round. Uganda being a tropical country. Because back home we have fruits seasonally. Oh, mangoes, you're going to get them in December. Peaches, you're going to get them this time. Even maize, we don't just plant any time of the year. So like right now, this is February, going towards March. That's when we're going to be, our fields are going to be getting ready. We start eating in March, April, June, it starts to dry. And we have nothing, So there's quite a lot of fruits here. I do love the vegetables as well. And it's so sad that I love my ntula, but people...
Ntula.
Yes, ntula, but people think ntula is... When you're eating ntula, you're broke.
No, those are nutrients. That's the other way. It's like the food termed for the broke people here. And yet, it is like it's termed.
Yeah.
But yet, it's one of the best foods with the best nutrients.
That's true.
In
That's
someone's life,
Yeah.
Actually, I also love them.
Yeah.
I love the ntulas.
Yeah.
And I got to love the ntulas because of my mom. It's like for her, she doesn't want to miss any meal without ntulas.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've grown up seeing her preparing those ntulas.
Wow.
So that's the reason as to why I also fell in love
With ntula.
with the ntulas.
Yeah.
Yes, and I really eat them a lot.
In Zimbabwe, if you're eating cabbage, you're broke. If you're eating beans, you're broke.
Hmm?
Yeah.
There's no difference really.
Yeah. That's what I noticed actually. Yeah. But okay, rather it's the absence of meat in Zimbabwe that shows how broke you are. Yes, the absence of meat. Yet here, I feel like you guys don't really care much about meat.
Yeah, and if we have meat in plenty.
Not more than Zimbabwe when it
Animals.
comes to meat. No.
Sure.
I know that one. I am sure. I am sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, if you could spend a day alive,
Yeah.
like another human being, who could that be and why? Whether that human being is still alive or dead. But if you could spend a day alive, like
Guys, that's a hard question. Why would I want to be someone else? I'm so much fun. I am fun. I want to be memory, and I just love being me. In all honesty, I love being me. But can you believe I've actually never thought about being someone? I've never. That's a hard one.
it's a hard one.
Yeah.
But I believe there are ladies out there who really want to be like you.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, that's humbling.
After watching this video, some will be inspired. I believe so.
That's humbling. Thank you. That's humbling. Yeah. You've made me think deep to say, who would I be? Wow. That's a hard question. I've never really thought about it. Maybe if I was an animal.
Okay, what would be the animal if you don't know? Yeah.
Dube means a zebra.
Dube.
Dube is actually
Zebra.
a word in the belly, meaning zebra.
Zebra.
Did you notice at my house there are several pictures of the zebra?
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah. So, I would love to be a zebra, but I wouldn't dare be a zebra. It's one animal that is always being attacked by the lions, the buffaloes. So I would rather be a lion.
No, I think the reason why it is attacked is because when you look at it, it's a beautiful animal.
Yeah, that's true.
You get it?
Yes,
and
that's
also
true.
when the lion gets to see it, it sees
Food.
Yeah, it just sees food.
Yeah.
Coming from,
Yeah, I'll be a lion. Yeah.
Okay. So now this one is that have you ever taken a man out
Oh yeah.
or like on a trip? You get it? And then you paid the bill or you catered for the trip.
Several times. I mean, like we're in a relationship. It's his birthday. I take him out.
Whether it's a man,
it's
whether it's the one in a relationship or no, but it's okay. As in, that's how.
Yeah, okay, I'll take, in this case, I'm taking a relationship, because if I talk about any men, I will actually go and claim my money from my younger brother.
So apart from your brother, so tell.
My dad, I've taken so many out. My uncles, yeah. I actually love it. I can't just see the smile in my face. I love it. I love it.
When it's you paying the bill?
Yeah, especially like when you're doing it out of love. I mean, these are people that also I know they take me out like anytime. No strings attached, they take me out. Yeah. So I do it often. My friends, yeah. I've actually taken my friend out with his family, we were working together, and then she got married. He got married. I'm saying he got married. Now they have a baby, and we go out. Yeah,
So I'm also one of those lucky ones who will be taken out by you one time.
definitely.
Okay, so like, what was the best gift you have ever received from someone?
You're gonna make people start buying me the same gifts after they watch this video.
Hey, you deserve gifts.
Okay, listen, guys. I love all sorts of gifts, yeah. But also, if I say my favorite gift, please don't go out and all get me the same thing. I love jerseys. I don't like flowers as gifts. Did they hear that?
Did you hear that she doesn't love flowers?
As a gift. Yeah. My favorite gifts that I'm like, you nailed it, books. But they have to be certain types of books. Yeah, but that's only, like, literally comes from my friends. Even some of my family members, they'll get me dresses, they'll get me money. Money is the other gift that I like. Books and money. Yeah.
Okay. Have you had books and money? So if you don't have money... Okay, so I want to talk to you about your social media platforms. Yeah, on Facebook, that was on 24th April 2023. You wrote this. This is what I have been up to. Coaching Kampala Amateur Volleyball Club is amazing. It gives me a lot of sorts of emotions, but above all, it reminds me and makes me see God's grace daily. My prayer is that if only one life can be changed, then I would have achieved. But more so, this is my calling, a ministry that God has ordained me to do. I'm grateful and thankful to God for this opportunity. We lost semis today, but still, God is God, I believe. What really made you write this?
I was so happy with the team. I was so happy with how we started and how we ended. I had that feeling of satisfaction, you know. I know it's indifferent because some of the players, some of the followers at KBC didn't feel that, but I felt like amongst some of the things that are my personal goals that the club doesn't know about, that the players don't know about, but things that I know about, things that God talks to me about, I had seen those in the team. I had seen those amongst the KBC family, you know. So that's why I was like, it's a ministry. It's a calling for me. You know, if only one life can be changed, heaven would rejoice. So that's I was speaking from a spiritual place that I'm always in. Most of the time I'm always in a spiritual place, because I don't just think that I'm there because I knew Sheila, because I knew Tony, because the other coach was coaching KBC. Literally is the one who said, oh, the person who can take over from me is memory. That's what he said. I don't believe it was all our doing. Get what I mean? I always believe that there's God who ordains and plans everything, every single tiny little thing. At times my friends say I'm the one who sees God in everything, and then the other part of the world who seem not to like it, they're like, oh, this one, God in everything, you know. But there is actually God in everything. There's it's a whole lot of interview for another day, but there's God in everything. So that was the space I was at. If you see the pictures that I posted there, they were just emotional for me, you know, because they were showing me God's goodness, God's grace in my life and even in other people's lives. Yeah.
I saw a picture on your Facebook. So what was this? What was it about?
Oh.
And who was she?
Can you guess who that is?
Sheila?
Yes, that's Sheila.
Okay.
So what happened that day? We lost our first playoff. You know, it's a semi-final. The playoffs, we played best of 3 games. We lost the first one. Then we won the second one, yeah? And then that was after we'd won the second one. But after we'd won the second one, I'd spoken to her, and then she had just taken me through the same things that I'm talking about, to say, you know what, Mims, let God do what He wants to do. You have played your part. You guys have trained. The boys have trained, by the way. If you're meant to win it, you're going to win it. And we won, and we equalized the series 1-1. But I felt like we didn't deserve to win, because that day the boys were late. For me, I always feel like that's disrespect. Coming in late into the for a game, it's one of those things where I'm like, you can't win a game. You can't. But when we won it, that's when I was like, okay, God wants to show Himself, because clearly we're not. I don't remember if 3 or 4 players were putting on their shoes while we're supposed to be starting protocol, greeting the opponent. You know, so that's that hug, where she was like, "Mims, God has done it. So those were some of the pictures that I was posting of our journey, of how we got there, of how we got into the playoffs. And also, she had told me, and the players had told me that, Coach, it has been time ever since we got into playoffs. So it was also very, very emotional. It was very emotional, but yeah, God did it. See what this year God has for us. Yeah.
Oh, so when I checked some parts of it, some of the pics on WhatsApp, on Facebook, but there's where I see, they're so sorry for Beauty Ganda.
Yeah, my cousin sister.
Yeah, she must have been something in,
Ooh.
Yeah, to you.
Very big.
Yeah.
Very big, yeah.
By the time you take time and post about her death on your socials, yeah, it predicts something and it really shows that she was something in your life.
Yeah.
Not just a small thing, but it was something big. She was something big in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as we're about to conclude, as we're concluding, and there is something I've learned from you as a coach.
Yeah.
You have that zeal. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that.
Thank you, Ventus. It's fine.
I know.
It's okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
No, but we believe she's safe where she is.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I believe that when you're female out there, I think you should do what a man can do. You can also do it. You should have that in mind.
Yes.
And I've seen it in you.
Yeah.
Even it's not the first time I'm seeing you. I've been seeing you. I've been looking at your ways, how you how you carry yourself. You seem to be a person who's a go-getter.
I think so.
You're a go-getter.
Though there's some things that I don't really get. I mean, you never get everything that you desire, but I do try for the things that at least I can work towards getting, and I desire them. I do try to work towards getting those. Yeah.
You're a true go-getter.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I would like you to really give some inspiration words to the people, mostly the ladies out there, about your coaching, how they should be inspired. I believe when you talk to them about the coaching, they will be inspired. I
think I would love to say to the women out there, to the girls out there, to someone aspiring to be a coach, that it all starts in the mindset. Like Alpha said, that I'm a go-getter. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in your capabilities, it's easy to work towards something that you're already believing in, as compared to working towards something that other people are encouraging you. So I believe whatever if you're out there and you're a female and you want to coach, or you want to do any other job that is perceived as maybe a men's job, or that is got gender, first believe in your mind. I talk to my mind a lot, quite a lot. I tell my mind, I fight the battles in my mind first before I fight the battles out there, which is one of the things that we should be strong in. But I also believe in developing ourselves towards whatever you want to get. In as much as I can talk to my mind, in as much as I can desire to be a coach, if I don't attend that coach training, I will not be a coach. So while we're also believing we need to be out there, there's certain times where we just enclose ourselves in certain places and not go out there. Go out there, women. Ask if you have to ask. Like I've said, I have always had men guiding me. I probably met Sheila like 3 to 4 years ago, but the rest of the time it has been men who have been guiding me. But most of the women are scared to ask the men. Go out there, ask, go out there, learn. Go out there, share what you have. It's not about asking, share what you have. Hey, I'm seeing you're doing this. You know what? I think at times I've done this way before and it has worked. It's also allowed as a woman, So yeah, I think there's nothing that you can't do, especially if you believe. Yeah.
Okay. So as we conclude, we would like to get some of your parting words. What are some of your parting words? we are concluding right now, so I would like to get some parting words from you.
Wow, I don't have parting words except that I just love volleyball and I love what I do, and I hope someone out there really has something that they know that this is what I love doing, whether it's sports or it's not sports. But I believe in life you just have to have something that you love and go ahead and do it, whether you're male, whether you're female. But my encouragement goes mostly to the females. Those are my parting words. Let's find something that we love doing and do it with a lot of passion.
Yeah. Okay, Coach Mims, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity out of all your busy schedule.
You're welcome, and thank you so much. I don't take the opportunity for granted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would love to work with you again next time.
Thank
where
you.
possible.
Thank you. You can come and help me to improve my cricket coaching.
Okay, I'll make sure I do that.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we really thank you for being on here, and we really appreciate each and every one of you who has been on this channel. It's the #1 channel. It's called the Square Cut Seat Words of Hope. This is where we really bring to you prominent people, even the other people who talk to you and give you some inspiration. They motivate you. We know people out there, you're really looking for someone who can motivate you. Whatever we talk, at times it is inspiring. So we really thank you very much, and we really thank Memory Dube, Coach Mims, for taking her time to be here. Thank you very much. In case you really need to be part of this, just subscribe to Square Cut Seat Words of Hope. That is our YouTube channel. You will be able to hear each and everything. So if you really want to also get more information, you go on Facebook, about me, you go on Facebook, where Alpha Jeremiah Adoa, that is Facebook. You can go also to IG, that is Instagram. You'll be able to get me. You get Alpha Adoa Jeremiah still on Instagram. Yeah, and on TikTok I'm also there. AJ Alpha, you'll be able to get me. So we really appreciate this time. Thank you very much. I salute.
Disclaimer. The views expressed on this channel are solely of the individual providing them and do not represent or reflect the official policy or position of this channel or its management.